taking a movie of you. I'm taking a movie of you. Airplane seats. Ford tri-motor. B-17. We're going to take a tour through it. Yes.
So you need to be careful.
I will be very careful.
It will bite you if it gets a chance. Otherwise, just be careful when you go on here and go have fun.
5'7", the maximum height.
Military pretty brutally cold. So air would have been coming through here very easily. They had a little reflector on the outside. I'm not sure how much that helped inside here. I can't imagine a whole lot. The person really affected the most was probably the tailgate on the way out. So not only is it 50 below, he's got wind chill to be worried about. They're going to be dressed head to toe. You will not see any skin exposed on them. They've got 2 pair of gloves. They've got a rayon set underneath. On top of that, you've got a heavy padded leather glove with lamellate lining. He's going to be wearing a couple pairs of the old wool thermal long johns. On top of that, he's going to be wearing a leather flight suit with lamb's wool. On top of that, he's going to be wearing an electrical heating suit, looks like an electric blanket. And you plug it in this little black box right here. One side of it is set up so that wrist hat, that knob, controls the temperature of the suit. The other side just puts out straight 24 volts. The other thing they would have carried would have been electric blankets. And they can plug your electric blanket in there, throw it over several of them, and all huddle up and try to stay warm that way. They would have carried coffee and stuff. You can get sick eating the wrong thing for breakfast. Just the pressure difference starts making your stomach boil. You can have problems. So.
When was the last time this was in service?
It's
In service.
In service.
flown.
Yeah.
Probably 8-9 years ago.
Really?
They flew it from Boeing down here. There are cracks in the wing spar. The wing spar, the attachment points on here, there are cracks. The fingers come out and they interlock. They have a pin that goes between them. There are physical cracks in it that are visible without vision aids. You don't need guide check or anything like that. You can look in there and you can see the cracks. So they did let them fly down here. They got the parts. It's just a matter of a whole bunch of labor to pull the wings off.
If they ever do.
They have the parts.
Are they going to do it? You think?
We thought they were. Last summer they came out and they were servicing the P-51 and the tri-motor and supposedly this and the P-38 were next on the list to get repaired and flying again. So.
But the last time, like, these guns were used for what war?
These are replicas.
Oh, they're replicas. Okay.
Yeah. So. Okay. One side story: they restored the plane to this condition, flew it in to the FAA for an inspection. The guy walked out, walked up the outside, looked at me in the barrel, and see there is rifling in there. That twist on the inside. Looked at that, and he says, "You gotta be kidding me, guys!" That made them bring ATF alcohol tobacco and firearms out. The inspector, he went through all the guns and verified they are indeed replica guns. Yeah.
You must have done a good job.
If with the correct license you can have 50 caliber guns, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff and you certainly can't have them out there where people can get a hold of them and touch them. You see there's a little bit of armor in front of the gunner. There's nothing behind him. So somebody's not going to shoot you from that side. So there's very little armor in here as well. These wires over your head are control wires that move the surfaces in the back of the plane. There's 2 complete sets. It's redundant for safety. You can cut or lose all these wires from damage. These wires on this side will fly the plane just fine. They're exposed like this. You can repair them during flight. You can put them back together. They would have known how to make splices in these cables. Put them back together. The cold temperature, they're going to lubricate all this stuff with beeswax. Beeswax does not freeze up 30 to 40 below zero or colder that they would have seen. The guns are 50 caliber guns. They shoot 500 rounds a minute. These waste guns have a 650 round belt that would have been stored in this box and fed out through this silver conduit into the gun. You took that belt and laid it on the ground, it's going to stretch out to 27 feet, which is 9 yards. When you're out of ammo, you shot the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
They didn't invent it, but they did use it a whole bunch amongst themselves during World War II. Ball turret gunner. This is the ball turret. He got in and out of the ball turret during flight. Once they get airborne, they will roll the center section up so that door that's visible on the outside will roll up and be right here. He'll step down in there and he'll be in there the next one. Flight position is on your back. Pull your knees up around your ears. Stick your your hands between your legs and hold that for about 6 hours.
He was a gunner?
Oh, yes.
Gunner?
Yeah, he has 2 guns in there with it. We'll take a better look at that when we get outside.
That must
Again,
be cold.
it is still 50 below zero down there. Yeah. Time he's ready to come out of there, we're pretty sure that little popsicle out of there.
Does he have the electric blankets and all that?
Oh yes,
That?
oh yes. He's not going to survive down there without that. None of these guys will. If the suit breaks or quits working somehow, you may lose an arm or whatever. It is that critical to doing it. You just can't survive these kind of temperatures as long as this is required. Let's go up and we'll see the radio room in the front of the plane.
Hey, I can sit up here.
This is the radio room. We've got our radio sets over here, 2 transmits for you to receive. One is for short distance, the other is for long distance. These are short waves, and it's how all this stuff works. That's what they had at the time. Got a key for Morse code. Morse code is intelligible at greater distances than voice. It'll carry out longer distances. That's why they used it. Got a receiver. Up here is our bailout alarm. Don't think you'd need it. It's 3 short rings, put your parachute on. Volunteer gunner and tail gunner can't wear the parachute during the mission. There's no room. His parachute's on the floor up here somewhere. He's hoping a whole bunch of the waist gunner back here just to get his chute damaged, and he borrowed his when he got out of the plane. Trust your buddy. One continuous ring is bail out, get out of the airplane. So they're going to go out through the bomb bay. They would salvo all the bombs out, get them out of the way. They would then jump out. They'd go out the door we came up in, through, and up front there's a hatch in the bottom of the plane that the pilot, co-pilot, bombardier, and navigator would go out of. This is going to be the preferable plane to go out. There's not too much in the back of the plane to run into you as the plane goes over the top of you.
And normally, is this plexiglass where my head is?
There was the gun mounted up here as well.
Well, it was a gun.
Some of the planes, it is a gun port. There was a plexiglass cover. This is also our escape hatch for a water landing. So if you have to land in the water, this plane will float for about 30 minutes. You go out through here, go up about 5 feet. There's a compartment over the bomb bay that has a couple life rafts in it. Get them out, blow them up, get into it, and boat come pick you up and start all over again next week.
Wow.
If you bail out over enemy territory in Europe and manage to find your way out, you probably didn't have to go back. If you landed in the water, you're going back. They were concerned you returned if you landed in Europe before we got in there. This is how we fought the war in Europe before D-Day. We didn't have troops on the ground. The stuff we were doing to fight World War II was done via the air, and it was the air crews doing this. Next bay up is the bomb bay. We've got some 100-pounders on the rack there to the right. We got about a 6,000-pound total bomb load, so that's going to translate to about 12 500-pound bombs, and that's about what will fit in there. In order to get a current plane during flight, you can see the sidewalk we had to run on, and they did probably run back and forth on that, even though they're 5 or 6 miles up in the air. The doors may have been shut or open.
They were still open down there?
There are doors there. You can see the one on the left there is open. The one on the right is being repaired. But even if you step on that door, it's going to come open because if a bomb comes out of the rack, you want that door to open to let that bomb fall out of the airplane. Traveling around with a 500-pound bomb rattling around in the back of it. There's not a lot of future in that. So the weight of a man would do the same thing. It would trigger that door. That door is going to break away and open up.
Cool.
These are all volunteers. Army Air Corps. This is the Army plane. The Army Air Corps is a part of the Army. Army Air Corps is all volunteers. You had to volunteer to be here. Officers went through the cadet program. The enlisted guys also volunteered to do what they're doing out here.
They got paid, but they were not conscripted. They were all volunteered to come in.
Yes. Yes. So we have 6 enlisted men. They are sergeants. We have 4 officers on here, the pilot, co-pilot, bombardier, and the navigator. They get flight pay, the rank pay they got. They did okay during the war for what it was. After about 6 months, they would have completed their rotation. At that point, they could go home. They could go back to the States. If you're on the ground, your rotation ended at the end of the war, so, or whenever they decided you could go back home. So at least you had the chance you're going home. First 2 years of the war, you probably did not survive. You probably didn't survive more than 5 or 6 missions. It was a really dangerous place to be. The Germans have had a lot of practice before World War II in Spain, and so they're pretty proficient fighters already in the air. Through that next door is where the flight engineer was stationed. Above him is the top turret, and he operates that. All the way to the front, you can see the control panel in the back of the pilot, co-pilot seat. That square box right at floor level is our autopilot. Right behind their seats, you see a door open, leads down to a lower level. That's where the bombardier and the navigator are. The bombardier is clear up in the very front of the plane. His knees are up in that plastic bubble that you saw from the front. His body is sitting in the shadow right behind that. His knees are probably on fire on a sunny day because there is no air to restrict the temperature. It's like sitting under a sun lamp. Well, back here he's in the shade. Again, it's 50 below zero right there. The navigator is right behind him doing this. Everybody's working together. Bombardier's part of the mission is about 10 minutes, right in the middle of it. The navigator would have got him to the IP, the initial point. At that point, the bombardier should have found the target in the bomb site. He will maneuver to the plane so it's going directly at that. Time to release the bomb. He's going to release it, and they're going to turn and head for home just as quick as they can.
So he has controls to actually control the plane.
Control the direction. He did not fly the plane. The pilots all get wound up about this, that bombardiers did not fly the plane.
They steered it.
It was on autopilot. They had control of the autopilot for direction. They could change the heading, and he would have, it's kind of like driving a boat. You don't necessarily go directly at the target. You got to go cross the line back and forth till you finally aim where you really want to go.
Like when they bombed the cities in Europe, I mean,
This would have been involved in bombing cities in Europe, yes. Yeah. The B-17 and the B-24 are our other heavy bomber for most of the war, did most of that. Army Air Corps bombed during the day for the most part, and their reasoning was we were trying to do strategic bombing, we were bombing military targets. Our allies, the time England was looking at, they were being bombed indiscriminately. I think they wanted to set Europe on fire. And they did several cities, just absolutely incinerated them. We're nuts.
What planes did Doolittle fly?
B-25.
B-25.
And our B-25, the owner wanted to sell it. Not the owner of the museum. A lot of these planes are in here on loan or whatever. Anyway, he offered it to him. They said he wanted too much money. 2 weeks later, he said, well, the plane's sold. And they said, okay, you win, we'll give you the money. He said, no, the plane is sold.
So it's gone.
So it's gone, and I supposedly headed to Australia, but I think last I heard it's going somewhere down in Texas. They were going to fly it to Australia, which was idiotic, but that's too old a plane to fly to Australia.
Okay.
Not really reliable.
Sits, kneels, lays down. Are the use of tracers, is that
There were tracers as well, but again, he's got 200-300 round belts, and that's just about what he's got for the flight. With these temperatures, you're not going to take your gloves off in order to feed ammo back into these guns to get them reloaded. So yeah, it's a terrible duty down here. Your right foot operates the intercom. You're wearing a microphone strapped around your neck. You're wearing a headset so you can hear what the rest of the crew is saying to you. And again, he's wearing about 3 different sets of clothes and well, the electric suit to try and stay warm down here. But there is no room for parachute. Looks like the worst place to be on the plane is actually probably the safest place. Safe is all relative though. If something happens to the plane, everybody's probably going down. This is plexiglass. Plexiglass is by no stretch of the imagination any kind of bulletproof.
probably hit it with a hammer and break it?
Big bumblebee will go through that.
So if they sat in there, you'd have to sit with your legs up like this, right?
His feet are up in the suit to the far side. His back is down here. His head is probably right about here. And your hands are reached right up above you here to grab the joystick. Again, 4 to 6 hours at a time. It's just as cold in here as it is anywhere else.
Those guys probably are so arthritic they can't move now.
They'll probably be mostly dead now too.
Yeah.
We've got one that comes in on Fridays. First gunner in the B-24.
Black thing over there looks like a donut.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where the bombardier would look down in this thing and he'd look at the ground. And him and the pilot and the navigator would talk about where they were going, what they were doing, and the navigator would tell them about the winds, all this kind of stuff, you know. And then the bombardier would say, okay, we need this azimuth, that azimuth. What's an azimuth? It's just a reading. Okay, how far are you? Left, right, up or down or whatever. And then these guys would be coming in and the pilot say, okay, we're getting on the bomb site and it's your airplane. The bombardier would actually fly the airplane using this bomb site. Okay? When they get over the bomb site, he would say, okay, bombs away. And when he said that, the bombs away, the thing would go ahead and drop the bombs. The airplane would jump up a little bit, showing that you lost the weight of the bombs. Okay, that would be kind of the indicator, showing them that then that would be it.
Does he release the bombs or does it somebody up above?
The bombardier does.
He actually has a button someplace where he...
So that's what that was. Okay?
Correct.
All right. Okay?
The round?
Yeah, that little round thing inside there, he would go up in there and look out through there, and he would fire his guns up there. Okay? That was the fun engineers. A lot of times we don't help that enough to people to look back.
Go in the back.
Look at that right through here. So, just walk this way.
And there was who was running these guns?
Okay. Ready? Okay. Looking at these guns here that your mom is asking about, this is for the bombardier and the navigator. Okay? The bottom ones are known as the chin gun. The ones up at the top are the cheek guns. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, this is what they called it. And then they could work on a boat from the top or the bottom, and the bottom ones work with toggle switches. We understand the toggle switches. Working with the toggle switches, the ones up the top had a regular switch. Okay? They did not have one. Well, and fire them like that, like on the inside. So these guys would stay pretty busy, and then here is the bomb site. Now, let me show you right here, man. You see that? You see that little hole there? Little eye inside of that thing? You see that little eye-looking thing in there, little round circle? Come on over a little bit. See it? Okay. If we were sitting up there now, we could look down through there, and that's the optics, take you all the way from 35,000 feet to the ground. You can look right through there.
Really?
That's what they were looking at. When I told you that donut-looking thing over in there, that's what they were looking at. So they looked down in there and they could see the target. And 35,000 feet is quite a height. And they could see that. So whenever they released the bombs, and of course, the airplane would come up a little bit. You know, they would know because of weight. The air bombs were gone. But that's how those things work. And that thing works just like that thing that I was telling you about over there. All them little deals will calculate all the, you know, the azimuth, flight, altitude, the wind, all that stuff. So you get all that, you put all that together, and they were pretty good with this. And they even got better towards the end of the war. Even got better. These guys were getting, they used to call them shacks. Just an old shack, and we hit it right in the right place to go for it. They used to call them shacks. We had them on TV. We did the same thing. That's what they were looking at.
Boy, these are narrow stairs.
Huh?
Narrow stairs.
Yeah, that's why we are selecting.
These are pretty comfortable.
Wow, Carl, look at this.
Holy smokes.
What do you think?
It's comfortable.
Those seats are comfortable. I wish they'd have those in airplanes today. Sit down in it. I don't even have a chair like that.
Leave it to
These are for the crew when they have spare time to sit back and watch. They kick back.
Wow.
No, you gotta.
oh, this is just like the chair we have at home. That's the same thing.
Whoa.
Of course, they were never in it long enough to enjoy it.
Well, that wasn't the intent, was flying back and forth. So
Sure, sure.
Howard Hughes, that right there.
Howard used that right there. One of you gets to sit there.
I want to sit there.
What? Who was it there? This plexiglass came from California.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's not part of the plane. There was a door there with a light in it. Just like over here. There's another door back there. For the people that are sitting up here, they really didn't see anything running down the bay. Because there's no way to look up.
Too bad they couldn't put the. Of course, they didn't have plexiglass then.
Well, this is, I don't know. I can't address it. Everything's wood.
I was just going to say, that's all wood.
Yeah, this is plywood. Well, this is plywood too, that's what they made beams out of. This strap looks like strap iron. It's wood.
Hmm.
Only 15% resistance. Strap iron. Right here in the middle, you got the light down that way.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
See that square down there?
Oh.
See the what now?
That square? Kind of a square there?
Yeah.
That would be 10 feet past the goalpost if we were in the football field.
Jesus.
Gosh.
Look at the tubing and wires.
Yeah, all the conduit, that's electrical, fuel as well as hydraulic, see? And all the fuel is downstairs, first floor. These are the transfer hoses. Pumping it out of those tanks down there into this tank and then distributed to the engine. So there's a lot of tubing, a lot of piping going on.
So it pumps it into this thing here?
Yeah. And then it gets distributed to the engine. There's little tank on the other side. Inside, the middle part
And what's all this?
Oh, I don't know. Wire.
Oh, really?
That's everything wood. That's wiring 70 years ago. See?
Boy, no kidding.
That's all 70 years old. So. And we told you wood. This looks like anything out here.
Yeah.
But it's wood.
It's wood too?
That's
Yeah,
wood.
it's wood. Yeah, remember they would, everything in the whole thing is wood.
These are electrical generators to charge. You got your license with you? Well, pilot's on the left side.
And maybe the profile.
It's a wooden floor. It cracks. It creaks. Just like your house.
Oh, this is a comfortable chair.
Look at this instrumentation.
Watch your hand. Quite a ways off the water.
Oh, I just can't even imagine lifting this sucker up.
Oh, that's how it was moving. You were moving it.
Don't move the wheel.
Yeah, don't move the wheels.
It's connected to cables, and some of the cables are disconnected, and they flop all over.
God, look at this. Eight throttles.
We are right on the runway. If the engine started, we can take off. If there's no water on the runway.
And it isn't quite long enough.
It's not quite long enough. But
God.
when they designed this camper, they did a nice job.
Oh, gosh, did they, yeah.
They laid it out nice.
You know, when you're up here, you have no concept of how big it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I think
Okay.
I'll have you sit right here.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay, all you wear was over there.
And then scan it.
A little bit.
But I don't see anything.
You can't on that one. That's why they strap it to your forehead, so wherever your head is pointing,
Oh, I see.
sort of like some of these guns on these things. You just sort of point the ship. The guns take care of themselves. So we're in the Space Museum looking for Caleb and Bridget.
Enjoy ourselves. They'll come out to the car at 5 o'clock. There's something we didn't see. Let's find it. You hear me out?
Yeah,
Now, what is this?
that's the classrooms.
No, no, no. This up here. Is this the...
What? This.
I mean, this is that a
I
like a
don't know. It's a
drone?
drone, I believe. That one is a drone.
This is a drone right here.
Yeah. There they are. Hello. Hello. Museum.
Yeah, they're up there.
What they doing? What they get up there?
I don't know. He knows. He's been around this place a bunch. Wow, look at that sucker.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real one too.
Yeah, is
It
that?
goes down into the basement where the control room is.
You guys.
Thanks for telling us where you
Thanks
were.
for telling us where you were.
We went to the kids' place and then
Well, yeah, but then you took off. You know.
Did you go show her? Did you go show her Joey's thing?
it's up there.
Yeah, but here's his his toy.
Black. Carl's daughter dated a guy his father flew that.
Go over and show him Joey's toy. You're tired? Well, that's what you get. God, look at this engine. This is one of the two engines. Imagine what one little tube out of place. One little wire. Just one wire. And this is Joey's, Caleb's brother. This is his robot.
To buy this thing again would cost $1 million to get it going up and going.
God.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, his name isn't there. Wish they had a list of the guys who worked on it.